Zach Connect from Spring Hill, Florida, won his first game on Monday, September 29th, after a wild final Jeopardy wager. He has a one-day total of 13,401 and tried to up that in his second game. The law clerk played against Hannah Gomez from Tucson, Arizona, and Curtis Baguetti from Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, on Tuesday, September 30th. Connect found the daily double on Clue 1. Since he had $0, he wagered the allotted $1,000 in US geography. The clue read, "In the US, this elevated boundary and watershed stretches from New Mexico to Montana. What is the continental divide?" He answered correctly, giving him the lead with $1,000. By the first commercial break, Connect had $4,400, which was $3,000 more than his opponents. By the end of the round, Knecht kept his lead, but not by much. He had $6,200. Baguetti, a PhD candidate, had $5,400. Gomez, a book editor, was in third place with $1,600. In Double Jeopardy, with only $8,600 in his bank, which was $1,200 behind Connect, Baguetti found the first DD. In Old and Lit, Baguetti made it a true daily double, wagering all his $8,600. "Wow, that's a big wager," host Ken Jennings said. If Baguetti got it right, he would take a big lead. The clue read, "In the Song of Roland, God makes the sun stand still so this emperor can continue a battle. Who is Charlemagne?" He answered correctly, giving him the lead with $17,200. Baguetti found the last DD with $22,800. In The Righteous Gemstones, he wagered $3,000. The clue read, "Pliny the Elder called this alliterative bright blue gem a fragment of the starry firmament. What is lapis lazuli?" Baguetti answered correctly. This gave him $25,800. Baguetti ended the round in the lead with $26,600. Knecht was in second place with $15,000. Gomez had $6,800. "This is not over yet as we head into Final Jeopardy," Ken Jennings said. The category for Final Jeopardy was Destinations. The clue was, in 2020, the Pripyat Ferris wheel earned a cameo mention in an NY Times travel essay called "Why Would Anyone Want to Visit This Place?" Two of the contestants were correct with Chernobyl. Gomez wrote, "What is Egypt?" She wagered $6,800, leaving her with $0. Both Baguetti and Connect had the right answer. It all came down to their wagers. Connect wagered everything, doubling him to $30,000. He wagered $3,401, giving him $30,001, making him the new winner. By $1, Curtis, you are now a Jeopardy champion. Congratulations, Jennings said. Baguetti will return on Wednesday as the new champion. It was a night that Jeopardy fans won't soon forget. Under the bright studio lights and the iconic blue board, a contestant's bold and unexpected decision left longtime host Ken Jennings completely stunned. The episode, which aired this week, started like any other, 3 intelligent contestants competing for glory. But by Final Jeopardy, everything took a shocking turn that had both Jennings and viewers gasping. The contestant in question, Megan Turner, a 34-year-old librarian from Denver, had quietly built a strong lead throughout the show, calm, collected, and quick with the buzzer. She dominated in categories like classic literature, state capitals, and world landmarks. Her performance had earned her $22,800 going into Final Jeopardy, far ahead of her closest competitor, who stood at $8,400 at that point. Everyone, Jennings included, assumed Megan would make a conservative wager to secure her win. But what happened next turned the entire game upside down. When Ken announced the Final Jeopardy category, 20th Century Inventions, the camera panned to Megan, whose expression was unreadable. As the iconic music began to play, she scribbled her answer with the same calm demeanor she had shown all game. But when it came time to reveal her wager, the audience went silent. Megan had bet it all, $22,800, every single dollar she had earned. Jennings's eyebrows shot up. "Wow," he said, his voice carrying both surprise and admiration. A true daily double spirit in Final Jeopardy. The studio erupted in murmurs. Few contestants ever risk everything when they have a comfortable lead. Ken then turned to her response. "You wrote, what is the internet?" The correct response, "What is the microwave oven?" The room gasped. Megan's confident smile faltered as Ken revealed that her massive wager meant she dropped to $0, losing the game entirely. The new champion, her quiet but steady opponent, Daniel Ruiz, who had bet conservatively, walked away with the win. Jennings, clearly taken aback, tried to lighten the mood. "Megan, I've got to say, that was gutsy. You played beautifully all game. You just went all in at the end." Megan nodded, managing a small smile. "I told myself coming here that I'd play bold," she said. "You don't get to stand behind this podium every day. I wanted to go for it." Her answer and wager quickly became the talk of the internet. Social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Reddit lit up with fan reactions. Megan might have lost, but she just gave us one of the most exciting Final Jeopardy moments ever, one fan wrote. Another added, "She played like James Holzhauer, fearless. That's how you make Jeopardy history." Even Ken Jennings couldn't stop talking about the moment after the cameras stopped rolling. According to a studio audience member, Ken came over during the commercial break and told Megan, "That's one of the bravest wagers I've seen in years, indeed." The move drew comparisons to some of the show's most legendary players. Viewers recalled how former champion James Holzhauer, known for his aggressive betting style, once risked $60,000 in a single round. Others brought up the infamous Cliff Clavin moment from Cheers, when the fictional mailman turned contestant bet everything on, "Who are three people who have never been in my kitchen?" A hilarious but disastrous choice. But what made Megan's wager stand out wasn't just the loss, it was her reasoning. In a post-game interview shared on Jeopardy, its official YouTube channel, she explained that she had decided before the game even started that she would play with no regrets. "I came here with one goal," she said, "to enjoy the experience and play with confidence. I told myself I wouldn't let fear guide my decisions. And even though I lost, I feel like I stayed true to that." Fans admired her courage. Many said her bold choice reminded them of why Jeopardy remains so beloved, not just for its questions and answers, but for the human moments that unfold under pressure. Ken Jennings later referenced the episode in a tweet, writing, "Tonight's Final Jeopardy reminded me that courage comes in many forms. Sometimes it's in knowing the right answer, and sometimes it's in taking the big swing." Within hours, Megan's clip had gone viral, amassing hundreds of thousands of views online. Commenters flooded the post with support, calling her the most memorable contestant of the season. "She went out like a champ," one fan wrote. Ken looked genuinely speechless. Others couldn't help but praise Jennings himself for how he handled the moment. "Ken has such respect for the game and the players," another fan commented. "You could tell he admired her guts even in defeat." Jennings, a Jeopardy legend in his own right with a record 74-game winning streak, has seen countless contestants rise and fall. But those who've worked on set say it's rare to see him so visibly caught off guard. According to one production insider, Ken had that look of disbelief that said, "Did she really just risk everything?" He wasn't expecting that at all. The episode sparked renewed conversation about the psychology behind wagering in Jeopardy, a mix of math, logic, and instinct. Game theorists online even broke down Megan's decision, noting that while it wasn't mathematically sound given her lead, it reflected a high-risk, high-reward strategy that has occasionally paid off in the past. Still, even the critics couldn't deny the entertainment value. The shock, the suspense, and the sheer unpredictability of it all reminded everyone why Jeopardy continues to capture hearts after decades on air. And while Megan may not have walked away with the prize money, she certainly earned something equally valuable: the respect and admiration of fans around the world. In the days following her episode, she was invited to appear on a local Denver morning show, where she laughed about her infamous gamble. "My students are never going to let me live this down," she joked. They already made a go big or go home banner for the library. When asked if she'd change her decision knowing the outcome, Megan smiled and shook her head. "Not at all. You only get 30 minutes on that stage. I wanted to make mine unforgettable, and unforgettable it was. The moment will surely go down as one of those classic Jeopardy episodes where risk met reason and emotion met intellect." Ken Jennings's reaction, eyes wide, jaw slightly dropped, has already become a meme among fans. "Ken looked like he just saw a ghost," one fan tweeted with laughing emojis. Another wrote, "You know it's serious when Ken says wow in that quiet tone. In a world where television often feels predictable, Jeopardy continues to deliver genuine surprises." Meghan Turner's all-or-nothing wager not only shocked Ken Jennings, but also reignited the excitement that keeps millions tuning in night after night. As one fan perfectly summed it up online, "She didn't just play Jeopardy, she lived it, and that's what makes her a legend, win or lose." In the end, Megan's gamble was more than a game show decision. It was a reminder that sometimes the biggest risks create the most memorable moments. And on that unforgettable night, as Ken Jennings stood at the podium, momentarily speechless, everyone watching knew they had just witnessed Jeopardy. History